Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another important term related to signal, that is linked signal. Although this is not an official term by Angular, but an informal term which is used to define the concept of computed signal. Okay, so in this session, we are going to talk about what is linked signal concept, why we call computed signal as a linked signal, and what are the benefits of it. Okay, but before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to define and why we define computed signal as a linked signal. Okay, so let's get started. So here firstly we will start with a definition of linked signal concept, like what exactly it is. Okay, so for that you can simply say, if someone asks you what is the term linked signal, so you can simply reply that the term linked signal is not an official Angular term, but it's often used informally to describe a computed signal. Why? Because of how it is linked or depends on one or more signal. We all know that computed signals are dependent on one or more than one signals, right? Using those signals only, like, it calculates the value, it computes the value, and that's why we call it as a linked signal, because somewhere they are linked with another signal. Okay, now if someone asks you more pointers regarding this, like so you can simply say that it's reactivity linked to other signals. For example, we are computing one signal from other two signals, right? So its reactivity is also dependent on other two signals, right? If the value of other two signals change, so the third values all will be changed also. Okay, so whenever the source signals change, computed automatically updates itself. There is no need of manual updation, and that's why we call it as a reactive signal, right? So these are some important theoretical pointers. If someone asks you what is the linked signal concept, so you can simply answer in this way. Now to explain this thing, what we will do it practically. So if you remember, because computed signal we have already covered, okay, so now I'll show you another example, because in that computed signal example we talked about the numeric signals, right, number signals, but here I'll show you one example related to string signal. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here we will define few signals first. So let's understand the requirement. Requirement is that we want to define first name and last name as a signal, right? And after that we want to use those first name and last name as in a computed signal to compute the full name. But here is one condition: in case if in future if I change either first name or last name, so it should also update it in a full name. So that's the only requirement. So let's go and create the program for it. So firstly I will write here first name. And remember one thing, let me remove it from here because this is important part. Okay, so we just write here first name, then equal, then we will write here signal. After writing signal, just press enter. Make sure that it is added here in import. If it is not, please import it here, otherwise it won't work. Okay, one time you should import it here, and then later on you can use it multiple times as well. So here I have added the signal. Now we will define the type of this signal, which is a string, and we will initialize the value as text. Okay, so you can say that this is my first name. Fine, so this signal is ready. So this is not computed signal, right? Not a linked signal. So we have just defined the signal. Now press enter. And now we will define the second signal, which is for last name. So similarly we will define last name. Here we will write signal, and then we will define its type. Type would be string itself, and here I will define the name as last name Sharmit. Perfect. Make sure to terminate it with a semicolon. So here we have created two signal. Now what we want to do, we want to okay, let's firstly print these two signal, okay, so that there is no confusion. So let's go here, write p. So I'm currently in app.component.html file. Here I will define the signals. Just wanted to print the signals, so we will write here first name equal double curly braces. Here we will write first name, and this is signal, so we will use this parenthesis. Save it. Similarly, we will define last name equal curly braces. Here we will mention last name parenthesis. Perfect. Now we can run this application ng serve -- open enter. So it will take few seconds. If there is any error, it will throw the error, otherwise it will open the browser for output. So you can see browser is open, and here you can see we are getting last name and first name, but in the same line. So let me use br tag here so that you can see it properly. Perfect. Now we will see the output again, and you can see first name is text, last name is Sharmit. Perfect. Now the other requirement is that we want to compute a full name using computed signal, which is also called as linked signal. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here we will put one comment first, creating computed signal or computed / linked. Okay, so both this is, you can say this is just a unofficial name of the computed signal. So here we will define full name equal signal, not signal. Here we will use computed, and this should be imported also. Okay, so you can see once I hit enter, it is imported. If it is not automatically imported, just import it here. Okay, then we will define then we will simply put the value, one parenthesis, second parenthesis, and then we will use here arrow symbol, curly braces, and now we will define the name. So we will write this dot first name plus this dot last name and save it. So what do you think? Will it print the name? Let's see. So let's go here app.component.html. Here we will write full name equal curly braces. Here we will mention full name parenthesis. Perfect. And let's add br tag also. So now if you see the name, it is coming as blank. Why? Because we have not returned the value. So always make sure to return the value from this linked signal or computed signal. So here we will write return, and now once you mention return, save it, and now you can see we have got the name, which is text Sharmit. Okay, so this is how we can create a computed signal. Now why we are calling it as a linked signal? It is linked signal because if any of the values change, it will automatically update the linked full name. Let me show you. So let's add one constructor. Here what we will do, we will change the first name. So this dot first name dot set, if I change it with Amit, so what will happen? It will change the full name also. You can see Amit Sharmit. Why? Because it is linked, and that's why we call it as a linked signal, which is a informal term, not a formal term. Okay. Likewise, if I change this name or last name also, so it will update accordingly. So we will write this dot set, and then we will write here Sharmit, not Sharmit. Here we will write Sharma. Save it and refresh it. So now you can see it is updated. Okay, now there is one question for all of you. Can we directly update the value of this full name? Like if I try here this dot full name dot set, so will it work or it will throw error? So you can see set is not allowed. Why? Because this is a computed signal. And some people might also confused between writable and computed signal. So in the last session we will discuss about that, okay, in the next session, because now we are almost done with all the types of signals for Angular. So maybe next session would be the last session related to signal, and then we will start the new topic series. Okay, But I hope this session is clear to all of you, where we discuss how we can create a computed signal and why it is called as a linked signal. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.